Remember the name Nigel Malt. A dad who had become estranged from his wife and adult daughter had denied intending to kill his own daughter after running her over twice while trying to attack her boyfriend with a crowbar. 44-year-old Nigel Malt, who lives in Kings Lynn at a separate address from his 19-year-old daughter, Lauren, and her younger siblings, and her mum Karen, had also breached his bail conditions, which stated he must stay away from his wife. But Nigel has a drinking problem, and he doesn't listen. So he went to the shop where the wife worked, and of course Karen was upset with Nigel's actions. Now Nigel then left the job where his wife works and then phoned his daughter repeatedly while trying to go to the home address. On the phone call, it was apparent that his daughter Lauren was shouting at Nigel not to go to the house, just go home and leave everything alone, stop ruining people's lives. But Nigel did not listen, because the guy is an alcoholic and he must get his own way. Now once face to face with his own daughter, they argued. Nigel, being a drunk and the dad, wanted the last word, and he demanded respect, even though he didn't deserve it. Over the course of the argument, Nigel had become armed with a crowbar, and he was trying to hurt his daughter's boyfriend, Arthur Marnell. But then the tragic incident occurred. A frothing at the mouth Nigel got into his black Mercedes saloon, and he drove it at speed, reversing, knocking his daughter to the ground. After his daughter Lauren went to the ground, a witness was heard screaming, "You've killed her, you've effing killed her." Now instead of turning off the engine and calling for an ambulance and being distraught, what Nigel did was, he did the unthinkable. He then drove back over his own daughter, crushing her. And after the attack, Nigel phoned his wife, Karen, to tell her their daughter was dead. Now this attack took place on Leete Way, West Winch, at roughly 7:30 p.m. Now Lauren suffered indescribable injuries. Again, she was ran down by her own dad and crushed to death. The 19-year-old suffered crushing injuries to her head and torso, arms and legs, and a broken back and pelvis, and sadly she was pronounced dead at hospital. Now as for her boyfriend, he was actually unharmed. And as for Nigel, his defence was he thought he had ran over a wheelie bin, and his defence team said he was under the influence of alcohol at the time of the incident, and he was estranged from his wife and family whom he loved, which would have contributed to his anger and frustration, so clearly he wasn't thinking right, as if that's an excuse. He also had a temper and was not thinking, as I said, but he did not have any intention of ending his daughter's life. This was just a misfortune, it was an accident. Now what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Stay safe.